It says that we are live on the YouTubes for the Westlake Charter School June 2026 board meeting. Board President Gullick, you have the floor.
Thank you, and welcome to those joining us on YouTube. If you would like to make a public comment tonight, you can do so. Please email admin@westlakecharter.com. In the subject line, put the topic you wish to comment on, and please limit your comment to 250 words or less. We will do every effort to read them in during the meeting, but if not, they will be circulated to the board. With that, Amy, will you please take the roll?
Hope.
Here.
Sean.
Here.
Josh.
Here.
Saphir.
Here.
Sally. Here. Amber.
Here.
Nurali.
Here.
Katie.
Here.
Perfect. Celebrations. Who wants to go first? There's probably a lot. You going first, Katie?
Sure.
Okay. So I thought you were hitting the button. If you don't want to go first, you don't have to.
Go first.
Okay.
I will celebrate being a participant in both the graduation and promotion, and just the student speakers. I think that they've all at both events did such an amazing job. I was like in awe of their delivery and their insight, and student speakers at promotion and graduation.
Student viewers are phenomenal. Yeah, great speakers.
Sally?
That was special. There's a lot to celebrate right now.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that you're going to cover a lot of it in
Yeah,
your slides.
I got a couple
I'll
slides.
be happy to chime in
Yeah.
then. Like, I'm sitting next to a special person right now.
Yes.
Which I think is going to
Go ahead, do it.
You do it.
Teacher of the Year.
Teacher of the Year, Katie Sanchez, let's go!
Tied with my buddy Chris Hatch
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the K-8, and I'm so proud of them. I coached both of them through induction. Chris was my student teacher. And
Yeah.
so much love. Yes. My celebration that I'd like to do also is that my students and I participated this year in this analysis and feedback of how AI can work in our classrooms. And the kids, like, they let me know things that I didn't think about, and it was so important. And a reporter from Forbes
magazine.
Oh, yeah, I saw your, yeah.
Reached out and just asked, like, what's going on, how's it going? And so I processed, because I think we're at this really important time in history with technology right now, and I want to document it and process it. And so I did, and I gave him all this stuff, and he included me and 3 other teachers from across the United States and what's going on in their classrooms, but my students' voices were in there, and that's the most important part. I mean, it says Sally Hubbard at Westlake Charter School in Sacramento, which is a big deal. That's a geeky, nerdy, cool. But my kids, the kids in there, and it said they are skeptical, they are hesitant, they don't trust AI fully, and that's so important for us as teachers.
To hear, yeah.
Yes, so that was cool.
That's cool exploration, Sally.
Amber.
Well, I have to celebrate my son graduating, but other than that, Westlake did everything so well. They really celebrated them in so many different ways. There was senior breakfast and senior sunset this past week. I had family members come and they said they had never seen a graduation like ours, where each student, instead of their name just being read, there was something said about them, where they were going, what their future plans were, but also qualities, which they didn't really know what core values were, but the qualities about them. And then I had people who also watched on YouTube or the live stream, and then they texted me later and said just how beautiful it was, and how they just really felt like it really embodied our spirit as a school. So I just think it was very well done all around.
Yeah, love that. Big shout out to the planning team and all the people that put hard work into that.
I was also going to say the student speakers, so I will pivot, and I will say that I like that it seems that we're getting a tradition of taking a group selfie right before the graduation. So we now have 2 years worth of that, and I think we should definitely continue that, because that's
I
pretty
said
cool.
that on our board slide. Yeah, we got a great group selfie at the board and the admin backstage.
It's on my Twitter profile if you need it.
Is it?
Yeah, well, thank you. I was going to celebrate the staff meeting, but really the staff that prepped it so we could walk in this morning. So Tony, Stacy, Miss Melissa, Mindy, Amanda Antonio, Nathan Antonio, just the crew that put it together. The breakfast this morning was provided by Nancy Kong Vasquez, who some of us may know very well, right? Which was really, really well. So really just a celebration of the team that made it so we could come in and ride, 7, 4, 5, 8 o'clock and just have a great day.
Yeah, such a good day.
I'm going to celebrate the speakers, but I also wanted to celebrate the young man that sang the national anthem
Yeah.
at high school graduation. The vulnerability of just throwing yourself up there in front of your high school peers.
Yeah.
No music, no nothing, just a beautiful voice and a microphone, and I recognize that took some courage.
Yeah.
And that young man hit a home run.
He rides a motorcycle exactly like he sings. He rides a motorcycle all around town, just like his courage, man. Great kid. His mom is on our impact committee. So you may know his mom. So yeah, great, just amazing young man.
Yeah. There's no fallback. There's no notes. It's just you and a microphone.
Yeah. Great kid.
Good job. Along with the graduation, I thought graduation was great. You know what? I'll celebrate Miss Block this year with the morning lineup. I think she hit it. Like when it was hot, she got the kids in. When it was cold, she got the kids in. It was no in between, right? You just get up, we're here, pledge allegiance, we'll get in. Thought she nailed it all year long. It was perfect because as a parent, you're standing there in the cold. Like, dude, get these kids in, right? But then she was like right on every single time.
Nice word, Block.
I'm going to do a personal celebration. My son graduated kindergarten this year, and I've had my daughter go through a kindergarten class. This year, this child of mine is just a very, he wears his emotions on his sleeve kind of kid, and he has big emotions, small emotions sometimes, just all sorts of emotions that I think are great. But one of my favorite things is leaving the classroom and saying bye to his teacher. He was crying. And it's always been hard for him to part from his teachers every year. But the coolest thing is, as he was leaving, he had this binder, and the teacher not only had the picture of them, it had notes from all his peers. Obviously, in kindergarten, you can't write it yourself, so the teacher had written that. And inside, there's like a one-pager about the student and then his portfolio. And he read that to me. He went home and read it to every single person that would listen to him. He slept with this book. He woke up this morning wondering if his teachers are going to have as nice of students as like him in her class next year. And it was just this thoughtful way that this teacher supported him and his way of being. And it was just, it's a memory that I think I'm just not going to forget.
Shout out that teacher. Who do you have this year?
Miss Dixon.
Yeah, Miss Dixon.
Miss
Fire.
Dixon, that was just amazing.
The whole team is amazing. But good job.
And I just wanted to say that was just it was just very, very touching. And seeing the impact I think it's going to have on my son's life. And this poor book, even though it was laminated, I think maybe wrinkled up. So school starts next year.
Take pictures now.
Yeah.
Because then you can always reprint it later.
That's right.
Good idea. But
So good.
See, I have a funny one, and then maybe, I don't know. So I got progressives this week, and I have to say it's absolutely fabulous to be able to see all of you and read my agenda.
It's welcome.
Because I don't need them to see close, but I need them to see you, so I get to see you and all your faces. So that's good. The other thing, having a child in college who's come through Westlake, a 20-year-old doesn't know what they're going to do with their life, right? They're just trying to feel it out. And I got a text today randomly, so who teachers do I talk to if I want to teach? And I can't help but think it goes back to her time here as much as anywhere else. Because, I've shared here before that she really thanks Westlake for giving her speaking skills. And she's like, but I don't think I'm smart enough to be a teacher. Because teachers know things. And I was like, well, you get to know things. You know things by doing. But all my teachers knew all the things. And I don't know that I do. And I think to the teachers in this room and all the teachers
She's a double major in chem and classics or
yes,
something, right?
I think she'll be fine.
Fine.
She will be, but of course she will be because she has the tools
Sure.
that started here at Kinder and have taken her on through the way. And so I just, teaching is not an easy profession. Right, you have to want it, and I think that's my biggest advice to her. Right, is make sure you want it, and everything else will find its way. Right, as long as you're invested. But I wanted to celebrate that but for teachers.
Yeah, that's great.
None of us would be here if it wasn't for teachers.
Amen. I'm not going to put it on a slide today because I'm holding it for the fall, but I just can't help but celebrate it. It's kind of nerdy, but it is our English language learner LP proficiency scores. We'll talk about it in the fall, but we were all wowed when we hit 60% of our students making progress on the LP last year, and as such, we on the color schema ended up with a blue indicator, and we all thought, well, if we If we hit 60 again, which would be hard to do, I mean, if we hit 60 again, you'll actually maintain, and would you get blue or end up green, and who really cares? And then we were just looking at the data today, we're like, oh my gosh, we were at 68%, which means you actually exceeded our own expectations, and we'll likely be blue again unless there's some data. There's this new piece of ledge that's going to affect long-time English learners. So I didn't bring it tonight because I'm like, I'm going to wait till that all settles out in the fall. But I just want to celebrate all the teachers who implemented GLAD and QTEL at the high school, all of the intervention staff who did, designated ELD work, Jessica Ashby, Rich Ornelas, everybody who was involved with LPAC testing. Kim Erickson came back and did LPAC testing. Just it takes everybody to do this. And then when you see those results, you go, hey, good on us, Westlake. I don't know that 6 years ago when we first went like, oh, this new LP thing is tricky, and here we are now, kind of crushing it. And I'm just real proud of us saying, hey, let's do what we do. So yeah, good stuff. Katie, you want to play?
I am today, yeah.
Let's go.
I, like Amber, had a graduate as well, and we had a fabulous time. And he at first was like, I don't feel like going to dinner. I've got a lot going on. They left on a road trip the day after his friends yesterday. But then I was like, well, can we just get a quick bite? Because everybody's gonna be hungry. He's like, actually, yeah, let's do the original plan. And so we went to Tokyo Steakhouse and we had a meal and saw people. We saw other graduates there, and anyway, the whole event was just marvelous. So
yeah, love it. Congratulations. Hey, Deb, you want to play? And then maybe Mrs. Mendez, if you want to play.
Yeah, so I'll follow Hope in a different way. Yep. The bonds and the relationships and the connections that we're able to form with our students. I see a lot of kids, grades K through 8 throughout the year, so it's fun to watch them graduate. But I was saying at governance that I had a different role at promotion this year, which allowed me to see and say something to each and every promoting 8th grade, which I've never had that opportunity before, and it was just phenomenal. And then today, one of the teachers in the middle school had purchased thank you notes and gave the kids thank you notes and said, write a note to somebody. And there were 8 thank you notes on my desk this morning from some kids I hadn't expected. And I was just like, whoa, the year was not stellar for us, but it was stellar for us at the end. And so that connection is just super awesome.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So I'll be back next year.
Okay, good. I'll add you in the budget. So as reflected in the budget report tonight.
Yeah.
Mrs. Mendez, would you like to celebrate? I guess it's rude of me. We never ask. Would you like to celebrate? She's like audio glitch.
Sure, I'll celebrate my team here at the high school. Like a graduation, it's a big deal. I have great, amazing team leaders and administrators that do a fabulous work on keeping us on track and not letting us drop any balls and we're getting ready for next year. But we also get a chance to, relax, celebrate, the end of the year and relax with family, have family time. And they're also very, they want us to do that. And I appreciate that too. Like, go take time off, spend with your family, and come back ready and refreshed to do it again.
I love it.
So
I love it. Yeah, that's quite a team over there. Great shout out. Thanks, Mrs. Mendez.
Yep. Are there any board comments for items not on the agenda? Seeing none, that takes us to public comment. Ms. Mendez, is anyone at the high school to make a public comment?
There's no one here at the high school to make a comment.
Thank you. And we have no written comments at this point, so we'll move
Thank
on
you, Ms. Mendez.
to reports and start with the wave report.
Oh, yeah, I got that one for you. It's right here on a slide. We'll go to Chicka here.
Westlake Board, this is Felix Flores, your WAVE president. Hopefully things are going great for you. Speaking of WAVE president, I realized that a few parents on campus thought this year that I was a paid employee as WAVE president. I had to give them a friendly reminder that I am strictly a volunteer, and they were even more impressed and surprised with everything that WAVE's been doing. Speaking about things that we've been doing, I would love to tell you a little bit of what we're going to plan, what we did this year, what we're planning to do next year, as well as kind of some moments of optimism for the future. So first is just performance for overall for the budget. I feel like we've had a fairly strong finish to the year. Our June actual income came about approximately $69,000 against a budget of $62,000. We exceeded expectations by about 6,500 there. There's still some reconciliation and expenses to be made in the month of June for what we've done, but this puts us kind of in a healthy place for income. On the expense side, we're tracking just north of $27,000, right in line with the $27,000 budget that we came up with this year. Our key takeaways from the budget this year is that we had solid income performance. We're continuing to have a lot of learned lessons around expense management and adjusting expectations for both inflation and economic pressures for our families. So moving forward, we're going to be building on a lot on the volunteer experiences and really deepening the alignment with the school to ensure that every dollar that we are able to bring in has impact at the campus. So speaking of next year's budget, we are pretty much going to stay fairly conservative and keep a very similar budget that we did this year. We're expecting our income to come in around $62,000. So if we can beat it, great. If not, this gives us a safe space to land. Expenses though, we are looking to increase to $33,000. That would be approximately a $6,000 jump. The reason for that is that we are subscribing to a volunteer management system, a platform called Point. We feel like this tool is really going to help us scale volunteer coordination, track the impact more systematically, and give us a better messaging option for us. We're also going to make sure that we have quality events, particularly when it comes to our festivals. So we'll see some spending increases with the festivals, particularly Fall Festival, International Festival. We just want to invest more in those experiences so that our community really feels that this is like positive events that they want to come to and bring their friends to the next year. And then obviously, as we've talked this year, we're going to continue our focus on classroom engagement support. So make sure we have any targeted resources that the school may need for partnerships, volunteer recognition, ways that we can get families on campus to experience Westlake. We're keeping the same number of events as we did last year. We're just hoping to have bigger, deeper impact than we've had, including just an improved infrastructure and systems for us. We feel like this will help us continue with sustainable growth, as well as a chance for us to be able to kind of track our progress more often. The third bullet point is just school alignment. Just building next year is kind of one of our main priorities. Over the last 3 months, Dr. Ike and I have really had these insightful collaborations with parents and administration around conversations around events, parent engagement, and fundraising. I feel like there was some strong, candid conversations of where there was misalignment, as well as areas where we feel pretty much where the values and Operation North Stars were in the same place. Dr. Ike and I are currently in the process of documenting what that partnership looks like, and kind of these MOU type documents. It just, I think, would be good foundational agreements for us to guide us into next year. I feel like we have some really big visions of what will happen over the next few years, and this will unfold. But next year will really be a year where we're establishing clear messaging, making sure that priorities are aligned publicly with folks, and that our parents really feel the North Star of us around collaboration and school partnership when it comes to engagement. So yeah, I would say ending this year and moving into next year, I feel like we're in a strong position for Wave heading into the summer. Admittedly, I think we're a little tired and kind of pushed hard towards the finish line this year, but we've been genuinely proud of all the positive work that we've done at this point. We're going to spend the summer a lot on planning and prepping for next year, mapping out events, creating volunteer signups early, even maybe redesigning our website. A lot of this is so that we can build some efficiency moments and ease the work as we move into next year, so we can focus on the volunteer engagement aspect of everything that we're doing. One ask that I have for the board is that if as you continue to think about how to support Wave, if there are any opportunities that you're considering, we are looking for more chairs, particularly for the festivals and community events. So if you have referrals, send them our way. We'd love to be able to talk to folks. Other than that, thank you everything for the support this year. We hopefully you felt the same way that Wave was able to support Westlake. Hope these updates were great for you. If not, then I'm happy to get some feedback. But take care. Have a great summer. And we look forward to collaborating in the next school year.
All right. Big shout out to our Wave president right there. He made us a DJ playlist for the. Oh, do you have a?
I have a question.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually, it would be for Steve. So I believe that Felix said that their revenue came in a little bit over what they had expected. And we see Wave donations on our budget. Obviously, it wouldn't be on the budget that we're looking at tonight because that's now and
they're still reconciling, but is that something we would expect to see on first interim?
Yeah, good question. So we reach out to WAVE every spring when we're developing our budget and ask what they anticipate the next year contribution would be. So if they are potentially seeing an increase in revenue come in, we can certainly reach out to them to see if that would be something that would be adjusted for student. Sure. Yeah.
But if it was going to be adjusted, it wouldn't reflect in tonight's budget, obviously. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that'd be something.
It
that
would
would
be a
come
first interim thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, copy. Yeah, thanks, Sean. Good question. Chair of the Finance Committee, quick with the numbers off the video. I like it. Charter impact.
I was there. I'm so focused on governance. It's not that. It's just, you know how the weeks, this time of year, the weeks,
Yes.
like.
When we take charter impact, want me to take it?
Yes.
Yeah, we mostly.
Oh no, because we didn't really meet because yes.
We have a quorum, so we mostly discuss display data for the strategic plan. So as the strategic plan has a large section on measuring the outcomes, we kind of talked about like quantitative data layout, how it's going to look. We pulled up some spreadsheets. We looked at those little spark lines that you can put into a Google sheet, and trend lines, and what we wanted it to look like. So they were really helpful. It was a helpful conversation on like what do we want all of this data to look like as we start to curate it as we go out into the fall.
With like the important asterisks of like this is going to be the first year, so like I really like the lines and the story it tells, but they're going to mean nothing, right? Because this is the first year, and so we have some time to balance what is the best way to look at it, and then like how much detail to have in it, right? Because there's like sub areas, and do you show those? But then it gets really complicated. But you're also kind of proud of that sub data, so then how do you like it was. I'm remembering it now. It was really fruitful in sort of understanding.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Josh.
Development committee. Normally we say we meet on come on, man. Normally we go, we meet on Monday, but not today. Today we want to give you a little glimpse into what we've been working on, which is a new Explorer Partner sponsorship program. Which is in the packet. Just basically, we've got different sponsorship levels. We're explorers, so it's a hike. You got a solo hike, you got a group hike, we got a busload of kids, we got all that stuff, depending on levels. And then we've also outlined what, and the partnership in particular is going to be focused towards businesses. So that way, we're separate from WAVE. On-campus parents, those types of things. We're really looking for businesses that want to partner with us. So we've also created a number of opportunities for them to make the most of their sponsorship depending on the level. And those are kind of outlined, whether it's, having them on a banner, at a field lesson, pictures like that. We're also going to create a website that outlines our partners, show the students in action, because all of this is going to go towards field lessons. We chose to pick just one thing to focus in on. So, and kind of broke it down, what's the cost per student for a field lesson, not per grade level, not per activity, but just all in all, what's the cost per student? It's roughly $200. Some will be more, some will be less, depending on the grade. This also, no sponsor will get to pick a specific student or a specific class. It's just, we're a part of it. They'll get an Explorer sticker, activate them on the website. What we're trying to do is get some more bang for our buck, but also create recurring revenue. We've created a calendar. We want to start this process for this year at Back to School Night, August 2026. Start getting the word out. We've got a number of things in play. And then start revolving our calendar around the school's fiscal year. So we'll start, our fundraising year will be July to June, and then kind of wrap it up through there. So a lot of things going on, a lot of changes. Now keep in mind, any donations for sponsorships that we get will still come up through the board as normal. So we'll still, as a board decide, yes, that makes the most sense for a partnership and things of that nature. And then it's up to us to harvest that partnership. Hey, how's it going? can we send you some pictures? Here's the newsletter. Here's what your funds went to. And check in with them and just try to grow a database of partners versus a database of, names and whatnot of people who've helped. So it's a little bit, well, it's a big change over what we did. We tried, really promoting Big Day of Giving, Giving Tuesday, but we lose out to the algorithm that really puts, cats and kung fu movies forward. So we weren't getting as much impact as we wanted. So that's where we've spent the past, probably the last fiscal year, kind of developing this new thing. So we've been a little more quiet than normal, but this is what we've been working on. And a shout out to Nirali, who put all this stuff together for the packet today, and she worked with John and really got everything going. But the team is on board with this as the plan going forward, and really trying to focus on, really customer service for those Explorer partners that want to partner with us, and make sure they feel the impact, they see their impact, so that we can continue to rely on them every year.
You'll note that in the packet tonight that this is put in as a report. However, you'll see the action was initially requested. We did not put it on as an action item tonight, and that was our administrative error. And so what we're going to ask is that the board, that this ends up in the August packet as an action item or a consent item potentially, and so that we'll hit the ground running as the year launches with an approval on this piece.
Can we, go ahead, Nirali.
I just want to make one note. I know we had conversations at our committee level that I think are important is, what if we get businesses that may not align with our mission?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, great, yeah, go, yeah,
yeah.
give an example,
I kind of wanted to just bring that, like, we are as a committee going to be looking at each, the intake referral process, really working together to see, is obviously with Dr. Ike at our committee as well, is this aligning with our mission? We will probably not move forward in asking for donations and such with organizations that just not on the same page as us, so I just kind of wanted to put that out there, if anyone had any.
Yeah, I love that. We anticipated at Back to School Night, one of the, like we always have on the teacher slide, hey, make your donation for field lessons, but another way to get involved is to refer a business. And so when those businesses are referred, it goes right to this team, and when the referral is to a company that's not mission line, a vendor who sells vape products, we're like, hey, that's probably not somebody we'll do business with, and then we won't make that outreach. And so the team will screen that. It's a good process you guys come up with. It's good.
Don't we have a policy already though that sets out that about who we partner with?
Yeah, the policy indicates what Nirali just described, which is that we won't do that, and so she's describing that we have a process to adhere to said policy.
Right, and all I'm acknowledging is that for like the how you decide who to partner with, because sometimes that can get you into trouble, is that we do have a policy that does address that.
That policy protects you from
the older school example, right, was tobacco, but vape works even better nowadays. But just so, I just wanted to highlight the fact that we do have other pieces in place to support the committee in making those determinations.
Yeah, good point.
Can we open it up to questions, even though it's not an action item? Any
sure, yeah,
questions,
you can discuss it.
Any thoughts? If not, we'll just keep going. All right.
Very good. Thanks,
and then,
everybody.
Amy, we just make a note to make sure it hits the August agenda. Thank you. Sean.
I don't have anywhere near as much to say as John did. Finance met, we reviewed the budget that is on the agenda for tonight and recommended that it be on the agenda for tonight. We will not be meeting in June or July unless there is some reason why we definitively must. So we will reconvene in August, short of not. That's brilliant. I'm speaking really well today.
You got this.
Governance is the same because there aren't board meetings. We don't plan to meet in July and August, and I won't be here in August, so Sean knows she's going to be chairing that meeting. Governance had a great meeting tonight. We spent most of our time. First, we approved and recommended for adoption the slate of board members, committee members, and board rules for next year. But we spend the majority of our time reviewing the reflection piece. And I want to thank everybody for taking the time to reflect. We had everyone respond, which is fabulous. Things that we're targeting is, time and materials will be an area of growth for next year. We appreciated the multiple comments about the board being accepting of differing opinions. And then we're also considering a proposal about board member participation in community events and how to make sure that those are worthwhile both for the community that we're attending to participate with and then for the board member. So all that is to come. We'll probably workshop it in the fall. So just thanks again for your participation. With that, Dr. Ike, I believe we move on to you.
Hot dog. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Looking forward to this is it, last slide deck of the year. Wrapping up, what a stellar year. You're right. There are a lot of slides in the celebrations, and we'll try to just rock it right through them. But, what's funny is we pulled all the board celebrations from the whole year into a single looping slideshow to open up this morning's end of year breakfast. So while everybody's having breakfast, every board slide that we've produced all year was looping on the screen. It was like, oh, a lot of celebrations, man. A lot of good stuff happens here throughout the year. So let's dive in. Our Westlake Charter High School Visual and Performing Arts Spring Showcase was 2 weeks ago. And, man, our students are absolute superstars, both visually. This is the new mural that's being mounted in the indoor hallway right now. These are 3D sculpture pieces, visual art, but we also have amazing performing artists. They put on some one-act plays on that particular night, and then later on in the season performed the Scottish play, which I could say in this room because this isn't theater. They did Macbeth. Yes, it's just, a little superstition. I was saying that out loud. 8th grade dance was absolutely, amazing. DJ and students alike all enjoyed the evening of dancing and fun. Rumpus in the Rainforest, which is the first grade project. Just, what a great time. There's not a 8th grader out there that doesn't remember what they were at Rumpus. And when that came out, I was walking around that day. I'm like, hey, do you remember what you were? I was a toucan. Everybody remember. Everybody knows what they were. Rumpus Rainforest. It's such a right. It's such a great piece. That piece. Everyone remembers. Who were you in Rumpus Rainforest? Everyone remembers who were you in the Living Wax Museum? There's these milestones at Westlake Charter School. You're like, oh yeah, I did that. Do you remember when the gingerbread man ran away in kindergarten? Right? All these little milestone moments. So great. Speaking of milestone moments, this is one, man. 8th graders went to an overnight field lesson in Santa Cruz, did a service learning project, got an opportunity to visit the beach and visit the coast and do an overnight camping, and everyone made it home safely, and all is well. They had a great time right there. This is the newest tradition as of last year, and it is absolutely one of my favorite moments of the year, right? The seniors, cap and gown, they stand out by the flagpole. The entire kindergarten through 8th grade comes out to the hallway, lines the hallway. The music, pomp and circumstance starts, and the students parade down in caps and gowns, and it's so great because what you see the moment of recognition where the little goes, oh, that's my sister, and when the sister goes, right, and then you see the same thing when the sister goes, that's my teacher from 4 years ago, right? And the teacher goes, I mean, it's just magic, man. All the way down the road, it is so magic. Then the seniors make it down to kindergarten, and they go into kindergarten classrooms, and they read books to the kindergartners, and they get a little duck.
With their graduation year.
Oh, that's where that duck came from. I ended up with a whole couple of those ducks, man. Yeah. It was good. I didn't realize they did a duck. Is that what they did?
Yeah.
They give the squeaky duck to the kindergartners.
And it has their graduation
Oh,
year.
and what's the kindergartner's graduation year?
2038.
2038. Oh my God, the future.
Think back to when we were designing this campus. We never thought we would have a high school walk.
No.
Down the equator.
No, we didn't know. Yeah, super epic. And we got seniors up on the stage right there. Those aren't that's the whole group right there.
Yeah.
We did have a picture, but it's not on here. We had a picture of the 25 seniors who started here in kindergarten on the Del Paso campus.
We
Yeah.
also did a photo booth this year. Was the first year we've done this.
A photo booth with the siblings.
siblings.
Yeah, which is super cool. Yeah, that was great. A fantastic tradition.
Everest also was like leading the parade this year.
And Everest was in a cap and gown. It was gold.
Anyone at the K8 campus that sees Everest is like,
Oh, it's magic.
like
Yeah.
they are just
Yeah.
in awe.
So magic.
And he had
I got a picture with Everest. Everest out front with the cap and gown. Can I get a picture? I'm like, this is awkward. I don't even know who you are. Hello. Yeah, I was like a third grader. Oh, hi. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, all that branding, all that's, it's real, man. You see it and you feel it when it happens. So, yeah, what a great event. What a great event. Speaking of branding, check out the Spirit Shirt Contest winner right here. Mazan just crushed this. Look at, I know we're on a baseball team at the school, but maybe we should. We should probably get a baseball. But look at Everest, a baseball player with the core values. So this is really, I'm wearing that shirt for sure.
I love the theme at the bottom too.
Yeah, one team, one goal, one future. Love it, man. So good, so good. Love it. Aloha to kindergarten. The kindergartners graduate. The seniors graduate. The next slide will probably be promotion. Yes, so good. Does anybody know any of the songs from this? Anybody got one of them? A, B, see you later. Yeah. Oh, I love it so much. Nerala, you were just there. Yeah. You're like, A, B, see you later. Yeah, so good. I mean, look at, this guy was a kindergartner 5 minutes ago, and he's going to be at middle school. He is middle school now. Oh, yes.
And that other family, he's promoting 8th
Yeah, he's promoting in 8th grade, and she just graduated from Aloha. Yeah, and Carter's going into the middle school. So everybody's promoting on the next level. Oh my goodness, it's so great. So great. Speaking of promoting, you were all there, but this graduation ceremony was absolutely fabulous. Thank you to everybody who put in all the hard work to make this happen on that event night, but also the hard work to put in the work to make sure that we had a 100% graduation rate. That we had every one of our seniors who were projected to did complete. We had 2 students who graduated with an alternate diploma. Alternate diploma per the state of California, though, is considered a diploma and a graduation. We did have 1 certificate of completion. We are very proud of that certificate of completion. It's not a failure of ours to not have this person complete, because if you get a certificate of completion, you are then eligible for extended school years out until age 22. And so this student is a completer and gets to graduate and gets all the recognitions appropriate with that graduation ceremony, but then also gets to have their IEP extend their education until the age of 22. And so 100% completion rate, we're very, very excited about that, and a fabulous ceremony. And the speakers, I know we're all going to talk about the senior speakers, but my goodness, they're unbelievable. Yes. Westlake Charter High School Field Day, Westlake Charter School Field Day. I think this is Brandon Rubin in a dunk booth of sorts. There's a bucket up there, and you can throw that ball, and hits that, and it's great. It's so much fun. So yes, a lot of fun there. 8th grade promotion. Before you all sat down, that's what your chairs look like. Promotion was wonderful. The speakers at the 8th grade promotion with the young man who said, hey, I came here from another school, I got here in 6th grade, this place changed me. I was like, oh man, this is really good. Yeah, great speeches all the way around. Yeah.
Another moment, just real fast, for me from promotion was when Mrs. Rice mentioned that the kinders started on this campus.
This is your kindergarten, your very first group of kinders. Yep. They came to this school. They were the first people who had never been to any other school. They were like, oh, this is what school looks like. And the rest of us were like, oh, well, you don't always eat in a tent. Because we don't have, right? The cafeteria wasn't done yet. We were pouring cement. Be like, don't step on it. Oh, keep moving. Yeah. I mean, there was a there's an 8th grader who walked that stage that when she was in kindergarten, the temporary fence fell on her. And I remember talking to her dad on that day, being like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that, we're all mortified, this temporary fence fell on your kindergarten child as she was walking out to the tent to have cafeteria outside. Oh my gosh, and I've seen him 1,000 times since then. I know him pretty well. And we laughed about it every time. When I saw her promote last time, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the girl's fence fell on her. Yeah, she's fine. She grew up great. Yeah, it's great. What an amazing class that is. What an amazing class. End of year breakfast today was fantastic. I mean, all of our staff got together, classified, certificated, all under one roof. We had breakfast together. We celebrated. We unpacked some topics around the strategic plan, talked about what we're doing next year, and we did our Teacher of the Year and Staff of the Year celebrations. At the K-8, we were very proud of our certificate of Staff of the Year. Board member Katie Sanchez and sixth grade teacher Chris Hatch, or certificate of the year at the high school. Carly Salvador, formerly Carly Fabry, if you haven't caught up. Our counselor at the high school, or one of our counselors at the high school, got a certificate of staff of the year. And then we had Lisette Salas at the high school for classified staff member of the year. And at the K-8, we had Peter Canemo, Mr. Canemo, who does the clothing closet, among about 1,000 other things. But yeah, a wonderful, wonderful group today. So congratulations to all of our staff of the year. Just celebrating lawn and orders. You know, when these trees fell down and they quickly came out, and the lawn, you know, looks pretty good. This picture looks a little brown, but it looks pretty good out there. It's been a really good season. So let's dive in. We'll do a couple of strategic actions, and I know we got a long agenda tonight. So see what we can get to. We're going to talk a little preparing for 26-27 and strategic plan launch sequence. Ready to roll? In preparation for next year, we've really got a big leadership team summer work that we're working on. We're the team's planning out the first 5 professional learning. With Mrs. Batten exiting the organization, we have some work to do around our administrative team and leadership team this summer to just make sure we're reorganizing the work and making sure we're all getting our lanes carved out. So we're looking forward to. We got July 16th and 17th, some professional development and learning for leadership. And then we'll spend all summer working on first 5 before teachers come back. I want to give you a quick staffing update where we are right now, because it's also some of the work we typically do over summer. We are fully staffed at the K-8 minus 1 teacher position that we are offering tomorrow. If they're watching on YouTube, hey, you're getting a job offer tomorrow. Yeah, got a great candidate with a round 3 opportunity tomorrow, so we think we'll button up the K-8 tomorrow, which would be great. On the 9-12, we're fully staffed, minus 1 English teaching position. We had hired an English teacher, and we were signing on the dotted line, and she's like, my husband got a job in the Bay Area. And we're like, okay, well, we'll go back and get another English teacher, which is tough for us because we got this person out of a good pool, but that pool is, and now we're like, oh, it's a June time. So we're going to be patient and not just grab the first person that comes through, but we'll hire a quality English teacher. But we're in a good place right now coming into the summer. Big shout out to our Student Support Services team, Katie Davis and that entire team for some staffings. They are fully staffed going into the summer for next year. They've hired 2 full-time speech language pathologists. Now, we haven't been able to get an on-campus speech language pathologist. We've been using private vendor partnerships for several years. We hired not 1 but 2, which is really good because then the vendors are more expensive when you have a private partnership. So it's a little less expensive to have some on campus. But the real win is they're like on campus. They're Westlakers. They're us. They come to our PD. They're part of our end of year celebration. So we have 2 speech language pathologists, and we just hired a new board certified behavior analyst, a BCBA. We have a behaviorist on our K-8 campus starting as of fall 1, which is super exciting with all the behavior work we're about to do in the fall. And also, that was a position that we've always used from the private partnership, but we've escalated so many hours with that private partnership that it almost became, somewhat neutral, cost effective to hire an in-house behaviorist, but we're going to get 40 hours a week out of this person as opposed to for the same dollars, the private partnership. So really excited. Student Support Services kind of crushed it coming into the summer season, and based on our strategic plan, that's really, really important work right there. Love the field day. So good, so good. Strategic plan launch. Just talk kind of, we're all neck deep in the strategic plan. You see it, in the packet tonight. Each campus will be using actions outlined in the strategic plan to initiate growth in 26-27. A couple of big priority initiatives you're going to see for sure. You're already, I'm sure, aware of is that WASC Action 2 and our Westlake Charter Strategic Plan Action 2. Both are about creating positive student behavior. Look a little different on each campus, but we're going to spend a lot of time working on creating positive student behavior as it aligns to the strategic plan and its actions. And then we got a lot of work around engaging families, which is strategic plan action 8. Just including them in the behavior work, making sure that we're not just talking as teachers and staff on campus about how do we create positive student behavior, but how do we engage families in that work and create family partnership in that work. So we get some big work around that, as well as trying to include more parent volunteers and parents on campus, things like that. So really excited about the work in the fall, aligned to the strategic plan. And I think I'm going to, from here to, I love that picture so much. Yeah, there's your singer right there. It's silly. As you launch the strategic plan work in the fall, what you will probably be seeing a bunch of as we all launch the behavior pieces in school is a new digital landing page for the strategic plan. I know on our board website you click on the strategic plan page and you get the old strategic plan, but now you're going to get the new strategic plan. We also have a digital workspace for the actions in the strategic plan. So just like our shared collab spaces for staff, we're going to have shared collab spaces for the strategic plan actions. We're launching the digital dashboard for measuring outcomes, so you can see the trend lines. That will be flat in year one, but eventually they'll be cool. And then we'll be launching new celebrations and setbacks form to capture our strategic plan story as it rolls out, and I'll be inviting board and leadership teams to engage in that work as we go forward. So that'll be kind of a good launch in the fall. We're really looking forward to it. Any questions on any of the strategic actions? Rolling on to updates. I think we got some enrollment and some staff retention pieces in here. Enrollment, staff retention, that might be the first piece of data that we get to put in the new strat plan. So I got some retention data. 9/12 facilities update and family survey. So let's, let me look at that picture. Oh yeah, it's so good, it's so good. Enrollment. Okay, so 2026, 2027, going into next year at the K-8, we're fully enrolled at 1,000, and obviously have over 1,000 students on the wait list. In 9th grade, we're at 143, 136, 130, and 106. Those numbers are somewhat meaningless until you see this. Does anybody remember what the percentage is that we're allowed to go over 500? It's 3. Yeah, it's 3. Good. Yep, good. You're good. You're good. Which would equal 3% of 500 is 15. So 515 is the number. Has anybody done the math? We're 515. We're like we're right there. We're right there. And Melissa's like, well, I'm going to keep enrolling those. I think some kids are going like, okay, but we're right there. Be careful, So we're playing the dance and we're learning because we expect kids over the summer are going to matriculate because that's what happens. So what do you do? You're at 515. That's the max you're allowed to be at. And so I think we probably just play the game and do the dance as people go, bring in more.
Do you get notified when students are leaving, just using that as an example? Is it common practice to be notified before school ends? Is it sometimes you come first day of school and they just...
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it varies. I mean, we have pretty solid protocols as we communicate with families. Typically, families will communicate with some point of contact and go, hey, we're leaving. Oh, great, here's the form. So once you enter the funnel of I'm leaving, it gets pretty quickly to the right people, and we go, here's the right form, fill this out. Now we know, and then we follow our procedures to notify CalPADS, hey, where are you going? What's your next school? Because we have to actually notify the state of California where we think you're going because you need to land there. Yes, there's a lot of procedures, but it is all over the board. You would notify because you're very responsible. You notify in advance at this day. We would know, But there are people who are like, oh, hey, 3 weeks ago we stopped showing up. I just want you to know. We noticed. So it's all over the board. It happens. First day of school is very common, though, and a lot of schools will do on the first day of school, we call everybody who doesn't show up. We have the protocols for that. There are some schools where hey, at day 3, just drop them, right? We don't do that as a charter school because if you get dropped from the Thomas Unified School District, well, as soon as you show back up as a district resident, you got to be placed somewhere. Here, if we drop you, you go to the back of the wait list line, and so it's a little harder to just drop people. So we try real hard to get a hold of people. Yeah. Anyway, good enrollment numbers. We're at max capacity.
That was going to be my next question, though. Are there still wait lists at the high school?
There are still wait lists. The wait list in 9th grade is pretty small, though, so we're hoping that number holds. We'll see. Let's see. And you'll see in the budget, we budgeted for less than that,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
We budgeted we budgeted well below that. So if we run out of wait list, it's okay to fall down to what we budgeted to. Yeah, good call. Teacher retention. So, this is the first time we're going to talk about movers and leavers versus relocators, and I'll put this up here so we see what that is. You remember in the strategic plan, we labeled what's a mover. That's a person who moves from Westlake Charter School to go to a similar job somewhere else, and we consider that not retention. Right? If a teacher who works here goes and works next door, we're like, hey, we didn't retain that person. A leaver is a person who left the industry. Also, we count that as a non-retention. We're like, oh, we had a teacher and I became a banker. What happened there? We should have held on to them. We do not consider relocators as a non-retention. We have a teacher moving to Texas. We're like, that's a long commute. You're probably not going to stay. We have a teacher moving to Fresno. Also a long commute, although she has been commuting for the last couple months, as we heard this morning. She's a superstar. We love her. But we don't count that as somebody non-retained. Also unique and special circumstances. For credential reasons, loan repayment, contracts, different reasons. So we don't consider them part of the retention. Life transitions, retirement, promotion. If you're going to get a job as a vice principal at the school down the street, we're like, well, that's not a retention issue because we didn't have a vice principal job for you, right? And then non-renewal. Again, if we let somebody go, we're not calling that a retention problem. Although I did note, we might consider that a recruitment and development issue. We might, as a board, start to go, well, hey, if you're non-renewing a person, who's on that? Who's on that? Well, that's on you, John. You hired that person. You poured coaching into that person. You brought that person to PD, then you let them go. Well, maybe didn't do a good job of recruiting and then developing, right? So, but it wouldn't be a retention issue. And so, per the strategic plan, you're looking at 4 people who we would consider movers and leavers, which takes us down to 79 out of 83, which would be a 95% retention rate. That's neither good nor bad because the line is currently flat. Next year, when we go up to 96 or down to 94, we'll know which direction the data is heading. Now, I wasn't going to because the strategic plan doesn't say to do this, but I'm like, I can't help myself. I'm like, I need to know this too. So I don't know if I'm going to do this every time. You tell me, you're the boss. But like, if you take the relocators, the unique circumstances, the life transitions, and the non-renewals, you got 8. And if you add the 8 to the 4, you really have a total retention issue of 12 people who are not going to be here next year, which takes you down to 85% teacher retention. That's not the way teacher retention is calculated, though. In the literature, it's calculated like this. And so if you're looking for comparable data, that's your comparable. If you're looking for actuals of like, well, how many people do I have to onboard next year? These are your actuals. So actuals versus like literature-based comparables. Does that make sense? Cool.
Well, I think it's good for us to know while it's not in the strat plan, to know the total, because we need to judge too, not judge, but understand the movement across the campuses, and it helps me feel informed. So thank you.
Yeah, well, I think it's really important to our onboarding team. I mean, right, if I was like, hey, we're going to have to onboard 4 people. Just kidding, there's like 8 more people that got to be onboarded. And all of our, veteran staff are going to be bringing in new people. On that note, we've had a banner crop of staff. I'm really excited about the new hires. Lots of veterans. Lots of people with 5+ years of teaching experience to replace people who often had less than 5 years. And so you go, hey, that's probably going to be pretty good for us. So that feels good. Any other questions on that? Super duper. I feel like it's important to always talk about facilities because it's in the strat plan. It's something we talk about, and I hear even in the feedback like, hey, keep us informed on facilities. We are continuing to collaborate with the Thomas Unified School District on long-term planning for what our future permanent high school is going to look like at some point in some day. We're having positive discussions, right? We're talking about what is the possibility, and the Thomas Unified School District is definitively considering a bond at this point. They have until early July to determine whether or not they're going to place a bond on the ballot. When I know whatever it is I know based on whatever it is they do, I will come back to this room and inform you and our community. But just keeping you in the loop, that's the work that's going on that piece. Any questions on that? Radical. Family survey update. As you recall from like previous years, these are the 5 questions that we utilize 3 times per year. These are the number of results we got per opportunity. These are our averages over for a full year. So the 21-22 year, you'd have a 9.4 average there across the whole year. And then I'll go through multiple years and take a look at this year. As you roll into next year, this will all change. because we're using a new survey instrument that is aligned to the strategic plan, and we're going down from 3 times a year down to 2 times a year, focusing on parent-teacher conferences, right, to really help increase that the number of people who take the survey. So I'll just fast forward. We're in the 21-22, and I get down here to the 25-26, and I go, okay, well, definitively, across the board, the 25-26 is higher than the 24-25, so that feels pretty good. But still, the 25-26 is lower than the 21-22. So I got spark lines for you, which is kind of cool. I mean, so you can see, I mean, it looks like there's a dramatic drop. It's really less than 1 point, but it looks like it in the cell. And you can see, everything seems to be trending up this year, which is a nice bullet, moment in time to go click. Okay, great. And we're sunsetting this survey and launching a whole new survey and starting a new as you go into a new year. So I just want to bring that to your attention. Any questions, thoughts, concerns about that? I think we got a ton of family data this year. We got between the strat plan and this, we're listening. All right. Well, that concludes our executive director's report. I'll bring it back to the agenda. Turn it back to you.
We'll start with consent. We're gonna have to. We need to split up a little differently than we normally do. Oh, thank you. That's unusual for me. It's like, yes, I know. Everyone out there's watching this. It's to turn on the mic. So I'm gonna break it up a little differently tonight. First of all, are there any questions or concerns about consent items A through I? I'll note on agenda item I, which is review appointments of the WCS Board of Directors, Board Committees, and the 2026-2027 committee assignments. We did make a change to those. It's in the packet. Governance approved the updated sheet. All it did is, it was our intent to remove the board president as a member from all committees. I was accidentally left on one of those committees, so that's the other. I am a member of governance, I am a member of finance, but I was left on one of the other two, and so we cleaned that up. And that was the only change to the item that was in your packet. So I would look for a motion if there aren't any other comments for items A through I, with I being as amended.
I will move items A through I, with I being as amended.
Thank you.
I will second.
Thank you.
Hope,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Satbeer,
Yes.
Sally,
Yes.
Amber,
Yes.
Murali,
Yes.
Katie.
Yes.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to item J, which is accept and approve agreement with Sierra Outdoor Schools for the 26-27 overnight field lesson. Ms. Hubbard, being a 6th grade teacher and a participant in this program, needs to recuse herself from this vote. It's why we're taking it separately today.
I would like to recuse myself from this vote.
Perfect,
Well done,
thank
well
you.
done.
Any questions or comments, or if not, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
That was Murali.
Yes.
Second.
And out Josh.
Yes.
Hope,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Satbeer,
Yes.
Sally is abstaining. Amber,
Yes.
Murali,
Yes.
Katie.
Yeah, she doesn't, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Case doesn't go on the trip.
Okay. The next one. So, consent item
And the
K.
reason it matters now.
Nope, I get it. Nope,
Yeah.
That's why I broke it up, yeah.
Yep.
Because it's a stipend associated with overnight field lessons now, and Sally would benefit.
No, I get
From
that. It was.
And I did it purposely so that Katie could vote
Oh,
on
copy.
J. Yes,
Got it, got it.
Katie can't vote on it.
right. Which brings us to K. Wait, we'll go back.
Whoop.
Unless you want to skip K. A little awkward. Awkward moment. K is accept and approve the fixed term employment agreement between Westlake Charter School and Dr. John Ike. We approve this agreement every year. Per the requirements of the Brown Act, I must publicly announce that his base salary would increase to $249,560 under this new agreement, as well as there would be an increase to the contribution that we make to his deferred compensation. It would now total $12,480, or approximately $11,1040 per month. I'm happy to entertain any questions on this. There is a full board board brief in the packet if there were any questions. If there are none, I would look for a motion to approve. I will note that our staff members, both Katie Sanchez and Sally Hubbard, need to recuse themselves from this item as staff members, and therefore will not be voting on this item.
That's what
Sharon,
Oh, I see. You thought we were now.
Sapphire has a question.
got a question.
Yes.
Is there, I mean, maybe I should have read the bylaws, but is there a reason why we do this annually? We can't lock Dr. Reich on a 5-year deal at the market rate right now?
Do you mind, because our staff are on 1-year agreements, Dr. Ike has also wanted to stay on a 1-year agreement. It does provide for future increases and whatnot, and we've talked it through. So in that consistency of making sure everyone is treated similarly, it's been a 1-year agreement per our historical context.
Yeah.
If there was an interest in changing that, though, we could bring that forward potentially in future years, again, depending on what Dr. Ike would want.
And it has been brought up by previous boards, so thanks for bringing it up. And I love the you lock me in. I'm locked in. I love this place. But I have always said, hey, every one of our teachers is here on a 1-year agreement, and so I'm like, hey, hold me accountable the same way we all hold each other accountable. So it feels to me like, hey, I'm here, you're here on a 1-year. It just always felt like the appropriate way to handle that. But yeah, appreciate the sentiment.
Can I move item K?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will second.
And then, sorry, I want you to take a vote, but we also need to check for public comment. So on all the consent items, I really apologize.
It's okay, hold on, let me do that real quick.
I'm trying to find my.
Do you need it when it cuts off the rest of the?
I know, like what? Which agreement is it, K?
It's K.
There,
Thank you.
there.
So with no public comments and a motion on the table, Amy, will you please take the vote?
Wait, Amber was first, who was second?
I was Sean.
Sean was second, okay, thanks. Slow down, people, I can't multitask tonight. Oh,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Sapphire,
Yes.
Amber,
Yes.
Nerali.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you, everybody.
See you all next year. I'm very happy.
We're gonna do this again next year?
We're gonna do it every year.
Every year, but we always, yeah. That brings us to our items scheduled for action. Our first one is accept and approve declaration of need for fully qualified educators.
So I was looking at you. You want to present?
Yeah,
that?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was.
There's no formal presentation. This is a standing item for each June. It cannot be on consent. It has to be separated out from that. Otherwise, it would likely be on consent. But it allows the school to ask the CTC, the Commission on Teacher Credentialing, for credential flexibility. For example, you heard earlier tonight, we have an English opening at the high school. Say we found a superstar social science teacher with social science credentials. It's a few units shy from an English credential. We could hire them and then petition the CTC under this form that's presented tonight to have them temporarily work on an English credential as they finish that process. So that's essentially what it is. And I would look for approval.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
I'll move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Hope,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Sapphire,
Yes.
Sally,
Yes.
Amber,
Yes.
Nerali,
Yes.
Katie.
Yes.
Oh, I think I got this next one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just trying. We're going quickly, so I'm like in my head toying with the fact that like each time, Amy, I know this is awful, but I have to ask you if there's any public
Oh,
comment.
I'll just start, yes.
So-
No public comments.
Perfect.
Item.
I apologize. It's
It's okay.
we're moving fast, and so it's hard. Item B: accept and approve local indicators.
Yep, and I got my slides out of order, but I'll jump to it. I think no, not there. Where are my local indicators?
I thought I saw
There.
it.
Yeah. I just jumped past budget. Yeah, the LCFF local indicators, as we'll recall, the local control funding formula allows us in the state of California to have local control over our public funds to run our school as long as we create a local control accountability plan. That's our LCAP, and then the LCFF dashboard, which is local control funding formula dashboard, says, hey, we gave you the money to control, you got a plan, and it's all look at the dashboard and hold ourselves accountable. How are we doing on those 8 major initiatives that the state wants us to do well on? There's the dashboard right there, and these are the initiatives that I'm referring to. Remember that 3 of these initiatives are really state data. CASP, the state puts it right up on the dashboard. The chronic absenteeism, which is pupil engagement, that goes right up through the system and ends up on the dashboard. And then college and career readiness ends up right on the dashboard. But these local indicators are for us to evaluate, hey, how are we doing in these 5 areas, and report on them locally. So they're in the packet for you to read, and they are for us to report on. As we've all kind of giggled about before in the past, you can give yourself 1 of 2 grades: met, not met. I'm sure it comes as no surprise to you. We have met in all 5 areas, and I'll go through them briefly here. We include a 500-character only short narrative about Westlake Charter School. I have a very hard time saying anything about Westlake Charter School in 500 characters. So that is the most brief synopsis I can come up with. This is interesting, as we know each year, that the TOMO, right, the teacher, oh my gracious, what does TOMO stand for again? Steve? Teacher? Oh my gracious. Well, anyway, this is a new accountability piece for how many of our teachers have the appropriate credential to be teaching in their class. I'm an English credential. I teach in an English class. I have a math and a science credential, or a multi-subject credential to teach math, science in middle school. I am a clearly, correctly placed teacher. And then there's out of field, intern, ineffective, what a horrible term, incomplete, and unknown. Just a little FYI, next year it looks like they're going to change it because it's been a year since they haven't. So what we're going to see is just next year clear, and all of these are going to be combined, and you got one column of unclear, which is more clear. Now, as you'll recall, the state of California is right up to speed. We're reporting on 2023, 2024. So the pandemic's been over for a year and a half. So these numbers that you're going to see, we were at 78% cleared back then. We had far more GLAPs and STIPs and short-term teaching permits and all the acronyms then, and this number has increased since then. So a couple years from now, when you see this year's data, you will see this trending in the right direction. But it's like we'll be constantly reporting 2 years in arrear, it feels. So this particular local area, number 1, also includes the percentage of students who don't have access to core curricular material, which all of our students do, and the number of instances where our facilities are not in good repair, and our facilities are in good repair. And so we feel that we have met in this area. In Area 2, where we talk about the implementation of state standards, obviously all of our teachers adhere to the backwards planning from our state standards, so we knock it out of the park in that area. So we have met in Area 2. In Area 3, I think we also knock it out of the park. You see the narrative includes a large portion where we describe the strategic plan this year and how over 1/3 of all families participated in the strategic planning process this year. That is a pretty big number, a pretty big N, and pretty high engagement, as well as we will recall, remember we launched that video series this year. We did a video training for on-campus volunteerism, and we had over 100 families engaged in that. So, I mean, that's not nothing. It's a good start, and we'll keep stretching the rubber band in the right direction, but I think we definitely met in the Area 3. Area 6, where we talk about school climate, we utilized the California Healthy Kids Survey, but we also this year utilized part of the strategic plan survey, which we intend to utilize again ongoing as part of our metrics, and really nice indicators in there around feeling cared for, feeling belonging, feeling safe, and so really good metrics for us on that, with obvious always areas of growth as well to work on, but that's partly why we're working on bringing in SEL curriculum next year in the K-8 side, along with all the behavior work that we're doing next year. So excited about that work. I think it aligns well, and we indicated that in the local indicators as well. So the final one, is this the final one? No, there's 2 more. No, this is the final one. Access to a broad course of study. Now that we're completely K-12, this is a really fascinating one to spend a little time analyzing, because we really do have a magnificent breadth of courses available in academic electives. So on the A to G requirements, the G is a UC. Oh, my little friendship bracelet fell out. Shoshana Mitchell gave me that at the picnic today. The area G is the what is it, College Board approved elective area, and we have a wonderful breadth of academic electives at the high school. And so we talk about broad course of study. We're definitely meeting in this area. Any questions on the local indicator or on my bracelet that fell on? Yeah.
I actually have a comment. Question is, was that easy to write? Because it seemed as I was reading it that it felt very natural. It felt very like in line with everything that we've been talking about this year.
Yeah.
With our strategic plan work,
Yeah.
with the survey data, with the work that we're doing on the ground, and
Yeah.
it just felt like, yeah, we're going.
Yeah. So, like, I know, look, a lot of people roll their eyes at the, like, we just did a strategic plan, wah, wah. Or, we believe in our mission, words on a wall. But, like, honestly, when you look at the way we do what we do, especially at the times right now, like these pivotal moments when the plan is fresh, our strategic plan perfectly aligns to the LCAP. So when you publish the LCAP and the strategic plan, and then the LCFF local indicators go, hey, how are you doing on these 8 things? We're like, funny you should ask. That's exactly what we're working on. Like, I really think that we're doing it the way it's supposed to be done. But sometimes you don't bend to the will of the government. The state, and like really lean into the LCAP template. Sometimes we're like, I hate the template. But I think the cycle of continuous improvement for us is so real, and that whole curating the voices of all stakeholders means a lot to us. So that's why I think it flows.
That's cool. I was reflecting on when LCAP came to be.
Yeah.
And all the districts, I was at the county office, and all the districts were working on, what is this LCAP template? And
Totally.
what's the wording you're supposed to use, and how clean and easy, and
Yeah.
Just us.
When LCAP first landed, the districts really struggled with how to capture stakeholder input. But because so many of our board members are also parents, our natural cadence of 3 surveys a year for families, our inclusion of teachers on the board, our inclusion of staff members in shared leadership, all of those things perpetuate stakeholder voice. And so many other organizations struggle with how do we get, so they hold these like, we're out in LCAP night, come out to the cafeteria at your local elementary, like 9 people show up, and it's not, it's to check that box. But our, natural shared leadership piece, I think, builds this easy cadence. I mean, there's coffee talk data that is legit. Like someone sat in the cafeteria, or the coffee talk on a Friday morning and said, shouldn't we have after school sports in middle school? How could that look? And then, right? So yeah, I think the system is boring if you're not a governance nerd, but I love it.
It didn't feel like a checkbox.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, thanks, Sally. If there are no other questions, thoughts, or concerns?
Yeah. Any public comments, Amy?
No.
If there are no further questions, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Hope?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Sapir?
Yes.
Sally?
Yes.
Amber?
Yes.
Nurali?
Yes.
Katie?
Which leads us nicely into our next item, accept and approve the 26-27 local control and accountability plan.
It is LCAP night, that's right. I feel like the presentation's almost done. There is no formal presentation, but you heard a lot of good things about local indicators and the LCAP. I think the one thing I would add about the LCAP is that in one of the appendices, it has all of the touch points that have happened throughout the year. So Ms. Talia just does a brilliant job of going through the calendar and puts in there the coffee talks and the Missoula and all of the things that show like we are engaged with the community as part of this process. So it just adds a little bit more depth into the plan itself. But the LCAP is fully aligned to the strategic plan. And again, that's just the way we've traditionally operated. So it makes it kind of nice. I didn't have any comments over the past month on the plan, so again, it maps to it perfectly. So if there aren't any questions, I would just look for approval.
Amy?
Oh, no.
Now.
I'll move the LCAP.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thanks.
It's extra step in here now. I'm all out of whack.
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Sapir?
Yes.
Sally?
Yes.
Amber?
Yes.
Nurali?
Yes.
Katie?
If it helps, there's only 2 more.
I know, it's okay. I just need to wrap my brain around it.
So let's talk budget. So accept and approve WCS 26-27 budget.
Yeah, so this is not pitch about California continues to do exceptionally well. Again, in California, if new revenues come in, really a lion's share of the new revenue traditionally goes to public schools. Westlake will be a benefactor of that. Jumping ahead, we can take a look at his actual proposal. He's proposing a 2-year budget. In his presentation, he said he didn't want to leave the next governor with a large deficit necessarily, so he's proposing a 2-year budget, which should get adopted here in the next 5 days. The legislature has until June 15th to adopt the budget, or they forego a paycheck. I don't see that happening, so they'll probably adopt something here pretty quickly. It has a 4.3 COLA in it. The COLA we were anticipating was 2.87%, and they kind of added this kicker into it of 1.44% that applies to most, not all programs. They call it an augment. But again, more dollars in a COLA standpoint are coming to districts and schools. One of the largest benefactors really was special education. Special education, as we think we all know, is historically underfunded, not only at a state level but at a federal level. And the governor has been a big proponent of special education in general and pushing forward dyslexia initiatives and other initiatives. So he has proposed special education funding jumping from about $917 per ADA up to over $1,340 per ADA. So a significant investment, and still, in his words, isn't enough to cover the need that he sees and he hears about in the state.
Just on that note, Steve,
yeah.
just real quick, when you say ADA, 917, just for students with disabilities?
No, across the organization.
Yeah, so every student, we have 1,515 students enrolled, and this government was giving us that, and now they're giving us this. That's this.
Significant.
And it still doesn't cover all of our special education allocated costs.
Correct.
But it's a wonderful increase.
Absolutely. Yep.
And Steve, that's a lifetime increase, right? It's not just a 1-year
until
increase.
they decide otherwise. Yes.
Yeah. It's not a one-time though. That's the new benchmark.
We would consider that ongoing funding.
Obviously, the legislature can do what the legislature does, but at this point, you would also use that same amount in the next year.
Correct. Yeah, we would consider that again ongoing funding. Yeah. The other two items we would not consider ongoing items. They're considered one-time funds. So the governor proposed $5 billion in a student support and professional development block grant, and also proposed additional funds for a learning recovery emergency block grant. I'll start with the second one first. The second one is the governor was sued by a couple different state agencies because he pulled back from money from districts and schools. So he's really paying that back. It was going to pay it back over 3 years. He's just proposing to pay back next year and what would have been the following year, all in next year. Going back up to the bullet point above it, earlier in his January proposal, I think it was, he was proposing $2.9 billion. He upped that to $5 billion in May. The Senate and Assembly are getting together and talking about it. I've heard a number being pitched about that increasing to $5.6 billion. So it doesn't seem like the money is not going to come. It just seems in what format it's going to come. And talking with school services and kind of hearing what they had to say, and CSDC, another statewide agency, and hearing what they have to say, they were both confident that some form of money would come, and they said it was a local decision whether to include it or not. We have included it in the budget, so that's why we've seen a kind of a big increase. And now, just seeing how the governor and the state are coming together, we're pretty confident that something will happen, and we'll know for certain by the 15th what that will look like. So.
That's very exciting.
On kind of other news, you heard tonight, enrollment is anticipated to be 1,515. The budget is set on 1,490 students. That's been a kind of a solid mark for us. So even if we lose a few students over summer and things like that, again, the budget is still looking strong. Our attendance, our average daily attendance, is 94.5%. For the past couple of years, we've been steady at 94%. Some of us may remember days we were 97, 96%, right? And then COVID hit and changed quite a few things. And we generally upped or increased it by a percent or so. And that worked years ago when a percent to the school didn't account to much. But now as a $23 million organization, even a 0.5% is $100,000 or so. So seeing that we've come in traditionally at about 95% now, we're increasing it to the 94.5%, because again, that's more realistic to where our average daily attendance is tracking towards. And then our EPA, the Education Protection Account, will come in at just shy of $3.5 million. And again, that was a voter initiative that happened years ago that will likely be on the ballot again here fairly soon.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Other items, base revenue continues to look strong, anticipating about $275,000 next year. Interest income, as we have funds sitting in the bank, those earn interest, or that earns interest, so we're anticipating that from an interest standpoint. Field supply lessons, or field lessons and supplies, about $75,000, and then again the WAVE contribution. Again, that was going back to the earlier conversation. We asked WAVE in April as we were building the budget what they were anticipating. So they provided that 35,000 numbers. If their revenue were to increase, we could always reach out again and ask if that we could expect that number to increase too.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
By going back to ADA briefly, I know we talked about recouping attendance throughout the year. What's that financial impact been this past year for us?
Yeah, I could go back and pull some specific data and bring it back. I mean, we have seen participation in it, and it's gone fairly well. And if you want, I could bring back some specific data on it.
It sense financially for us to do that.
Yeah, financially, we have models, and it's at least a break even, right? And not even break even from a financial standpoint, but also getting students re-engaged in the process and coming back. So there's certainly a dollars piece to it, but there's also like, does this make sense for Westlake? And it's like trending to, yeah, it's something that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, luckily it's coupled into a year when our ADA went from 94% anticipated to 95%. So we trued up right at 95% at the end of the year. So we are 1 full percent higher than we were. So even if the interventions or the intercessions for attendance recovery were even a bit of a loss, we still, it looks like we've gained it on the attendance side. So, but yeah, I think we saw some of the intercession models less effective than others. Had some good feedback from the directors on that. And so as we remodel for next year, we still would like to see it be an intervention piece, but we're thinking about piloting some after-school pieces for attendance recovery as well.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Super excited.
So total revenue-wise, you can see our local control funding formula and property tax, almost $15 million. The EPA, again, about 3.5. Special education increased quite a bit to $2.2 million. Other state revenues like lottery, mandated costs, those type of things. State special education, about 2.6, and then all of our local revenue, about $500,000. So it wasn't too long ago when we were like, hey, we're a $20 million organization. Now we're like, oh, we're a $23 million organization. Again, a lot of that is this big bulk of one-time funds. It's coming next year only. But again, that's where we're sitting at the moment on the revenue side. Of course, the other side of the budget, the expenditure side, it includes everything that you would anticipate and hope for, right? Salary, staff, and benefits, which is about 80% of the budget. Professional services, so you've got Clean It, Law and Order, student support services providers, whether they're providing different speech services and things like that. Overnight field lessons are always in the budget, so we'll continue to go to Sierra Outdoor in Santa Cruz next year, so those will be on the books. And of course, facilities, our East Commerce facilities in the budget as well. On the EPA side, we always need to report out how it's going to be spent. It needs to be spent on certificated staff or instructional supplies. So at the moment, we're all targeting it to be certificated staff and benefits. On the curriculum side of the house, Jen Caillou and her team do just a fantastic job at putting together quite a bit of information. It's been months and months of time doing this. I would also acknowledge Janet on her team, who's just very detailed in getting purchase orders and working with vendors and getting the information together. But the curriculum plan for next year is looking super solid, and it includes everything that you, again, would want the school to work on. So it's got learning A to Z, brain pop, Delta Math, I mean, all these different kind of core pieces that our instructional staff use every day. And again, just Jen and her team do a great job of putting that together. Also includes the kind of extras that we would anticipate, right? So funding for GATE, for our electives, so our teachers can go out and buy really cool things as they're running their elective programs. Attendance recovery, neurology, to your point, that's included in there, so there's funds set aside to like run that program as well. So those are kind of all built and baked into the budget too.
What is SVMI again? Since I know I asked, is it?
Silicon Valley.
Thank you.
Yeah. Total expenditures, you can see certificated, classified payroll, benefits, books, services, all those things. Again, just $21.4 million, and you would add the East Commerce facility on top of that. Another way to look at it, for those who are visual learners, right? You can see the majority of our revenue, the big blue slice is the local control funding formula, state funding, the EPA, also state funding. So if you add the blue and the red together, again, it's really a state predominated funded entity. Then special education, that slice of the pie has grown a little bit based upon the anticipated increase in income. And then if you here take a look about where the money outflow goes, again, not surprisingly, again, about 80% of the funds for salary, staff, and benefits. Professional services, again, is still that orange slice, a large chunk. Again, you've got the Clean It crew here, you've got Law and Order here, you've got some providers who are really working really hard to keep the campus looking sharp and clean and nice and provide services to students, and so that's what's reflected up in there. So altogether, it will be a good budget year, all things being held equal, right? There was a point in time a couple months ago when we were looking at staff compensation and things, when it may have been a little bit more challenging budget, but again, with the increase in boosts and COLA beyond what we were anticipating, with a particular increase in one-time funds, again, beyond what I think anyone was anticipating, again, that's led to the change of the budget, and then budgets are fluid, and we know that to be true. So the thing to consider is that really going forward, we are fully grown out. You have 1,500 or so students. So we're really just guiding to that number, and then COLA is what we can anticipate going forward. But with that, I would just be happy to answer any questions or look for approval.
I would just, Josh, go ahead.
Based off of the projected budget for next year and whatnot, how does our
Are you talking about reserve policy?
Yes.
Yeah, the reserve policy it looks good and continues to look good. It looked good even going into early spring when we were considering the compensation proposals that were before us. But with really the one-time influx of one-time money and the increase to special education, which were kind of two things that were not really known about until just a month ago, really in May, it still looks very solid.
Yes, I was going to indicate that, as we passed the budget, we worked, as we passed compensation, we said, hey, we're going to go $880,000 into the reserves over 3 years. And in the first year, which would have been this year, we were anticipating $400,000+ in the red. And just like that, the governor goes, no, you're fine. And a lot of that's one time, so that's not the following out years of our 3-year plan. But the year one, you're like, well, that's a fascinating swing. I've been in this seat for 12 years. I've never seen that swing. Where we agreed to go in the reserves, which we have never agreed to before, and the minute we did, the budget swings the other direction. So
the increased COLA, the augment COLA, the one-time jump to or ongoing jump to special education.
That special education dollars is
it's $500,000 plus.
Yeah,
and then the $1 million+ in one time.
Yeah, the one time is one time, which we love.
Right.
But it's one time.
But you will see that carry forward, not the one time, but the ongoing COLA into the multi-years as well.
Right, which is how, not in the 26-27, but the 27-28, we had also anticipated that to be deficit spending.
Yeah.
However, at this point in time, just this snapshot in time, right, we anticipate to have be 150,000 plus. Still pretty close, really, in terms of a $23 million budget to like that balancing.
Sure.
I'd almost consider that a balanced budget more than a savings, but it's still great to have it, and we never would have anticipated that.
Sure.
Your brief was excellent. I really enjoyed seeing the state budget information.
Or the governors.
That was fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah, it's well written. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was good.
I always enjoy it. I was flying this year for the budget presentation, but Steve made sure to keep me updated because we really weren't sure where the LCFF, like where the COLA was going to fall, and then to have it be the super, is it super COLA? Max
They
COLA?
call it, but it's really an augment to
It's
the COLA.
augmented, but they of course coined a term and whatnot. So it was great to get that information mid-flight. And if you ever have questions, obviously go to Steve because he's more than happy to meet with you and answer them at any point in the year, not just now. I consider the budget to be our biggest duty as board members for our fiduciary responsibilities. So if you have any questions, please ask. Any public comments?
Nope.
With that, if there are no any questions, is there a motion to approve?
I will move the budget.
I'll second.
Hope,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Stafford,
Yes.
Sally,
Yes.
Amber,
Yes.
Raleigh,
Yes.
Katie.
And to our last item of tonight, item E, accept and approve the 26, well, it's not really the 26, 27 strategic.
Oh, yeah, that's my typo. My bad. It's the 2026 strategic plan.
Yeah.
I did do one for myself. Yep.
But in the roll, right? It rolled.
I gave you this piece of paper as an unfinished product. This is the first draft from the publisher. I'm a little embarrassed that we're not finished with the publisher. It turns out that we're a little pickier than maybe most clients. And so he sent us this beautiful draft, and we're like, well, that's almost not good enough. And he was, we warned him in advance that working with us was going to be, but I just wanted you to see some of the, kind of the attractiveness of the layout, and we're still in the works on it. But there will be no material changes going forward. I do have a short presentation that I could do for about 8 minutes, but it's mostly celebratory and talks about the process. And I did that for staff today. Since you all were neck deep in the process for many, many hours, I don't know that I'll bore you for 8 slides. But I would open up the discussion. Are there any questions, thoughts, or concerns regarding the strategic plan? Other than like, I wish this picture was that picture, because that's all. A lot of that's going to change because he's working with our publisher. Yeah, there's some picture
John saw it.
comments. Yeah, maybe we don't point it out on YouTube. And we move. Just kidding. What picture do you not like? I don't know.
I'd like to be in the picture.
You would like to be in a picture?
I am behind the podium.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot.
So it's just an inside joke for people out there.
No,
It's
okay,
been a
yeah.
year-long joke between
I
Sean and
forgot.
It's fine.
For those on YouTube, it's a graduation picture, and you are
For
right.
last year's
Yes.
graduation photo, and
Yeah.
and this year the stage was set up differently, and so I.
Hope Golick is officially. Yeah. Hope is Mike Wazowski in this picture.
I am. I do. I feel.
I'm on TV. Mike Wazowski.
What?
I think your sleeve is in it.
It is. You can see my one sleeve. That's the purple stripes are there, but yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack that.
No, you're good. You're good. It's
But
great.
you
It's
opened the
great.
door.
It's great. Yeah, I'm really proud of the work that we did together. I think that the staff that received the presentation today definitively resonated with the topic that probably this strategic plan more so than others really called out that our strongest asset of the organization is its people, and that trust and that community and that belonging and that care that we all feel here doesn't happen by accident, and that this strategic plan really captures beliefs, values, and commitments that leads to that who we are today, but it also has action plans and WASC actions that lead us forward to where we should go. And I think staff gave feedback today in conversation about it really appreciating that balance, that we would hold on to who we are and how we became what we are, but we're excited about the work going forward as long as we don't lose ourselves in the work and stop being ourselves. And so that was the presentation that I gave today to staff, and it seemed well received, and I think we're excited about the work moving forward. Any thoughts or questions or comments about this this document, or you could speak to the layout work that we're doing with the designer? Any thoughts you have?
I'll go over fast. The addition. I know we make cracks at me about the buttons I want and the magnets I want to go with the little symbols, but I love them because I love giving people a visual representation of where we're putting our efforts. Like if I like I'm in this plan, like I know you all are, like that if I see the symbol and that our community will start to see certain things and make those similar connections for people who maybe aren't going to read the whole thing, but they'll know, oh, hey, that, like that means collaboration or that means, so I really appreciate that inclusion.
Yeah, we've already started some design work on the data dashboard landing pages. I think you'll enjoy them because they do have that icon positioning where you land on goal 2 and you immediately know, oh, I can kind of see where I am. And on the data dashboard, and I'll unveil this in the fall, but you'll have the quantitative data, the trend lines, but then right below it, you'll have the strategic setbacks and celebrations form. So you'll really get the quantitative measures and these qualitatives all on each goal area. I think you'll like the layout as we unveil it in the fall.
And then as a feeler, will the online website have bounce outs to like the
testimonies? Yeah, that's one of the things we're working with the publisher on right now. Is like, hey, maybe some of the pictures could be a little smaller, and we'll get some testimonials in here. And then the online version is going to be a digital flip book, not just a PDF. And so there will be some of that as we go forward. But I assume the testimonials are non-material because it's not about the strategic plan.
And that's why I was asking.
Yeah, so
if they didn't end up here, I understand. I want to make sure that they would be captured somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, we got some great testimonials. Yeah. Sean?
Having done the proofreading, and so just looking at it as a flat document for a fair amount of time, going through it, it's super neat to see it come up in it's all prettified.
Yeah, it's prettified. Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, and well done, Sean. Thank you so much for your technical editing. I'm so grateful to you and your hyphens, which I think I understand. No, I think I understand what a hyphen is now. Now I finally get it.
Well, yeah, because we went, and then also when to abbreviate or not abbreviate terms and what term to use.
Oh yeah.
Like it's amazing the different things that goes into editing, and it always blows my mind when you're kind of going through the document and trying to make sure that you're still making your point with the words you're trying to use.
It's good. Any other thoughts, questions, or concerns regarding strategic plan?
What's the timeline for finalizing and getting this all?
Yeah, I mean, we would consider after approving it tonight that the plan is live, and because the plan you have in the packet is version 10, and all the contents of that are true. So the goals, the beliefs, the commitments, the values, the outcomes, the measurements, those aren't going to change. So as of tonight, if you approve this document, it will be the 2026 strategic plan. Now, the timeline to zhuzh it up, I think in the next couple of days, I'm actually going to have a version that I'll send you, and it'll look really pretty. We'll also be producing other assets, though, going forward, but it'll be non-material. We might do a one-pager just around goal 1. We might do a one-pager just around the actions. We might pull it apart and put it together in different ways, but the content won't ever change. And so at that point, it's just branding and layout. So as of tonight, all the content would remain true upon approval. Does that answer your question? Yeah. It's done. I want to ask you for one more sticky note. Thank you for all of your hard work.
Do you want to ask for one this year?
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, give me 5 minutes. I'll ask you for a post-it note in 5 minutes.
Just want to give you room.
We're gonna walk right into charter renewal in 5. Yeah, as soon as this meeting's over, we start charter renewal.
That's what I was probably thinking. Charter renewal's coming next.
It's coming. It's coming. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns, feedback?
No, assuming there's no public comment, I will move to accept and approve the strategic plan, knowing there are immaterial format changes coming.
There are no public comments. I will accept that motion.
You want to do it? Go ahead.
I'll second.
Hope?
Yes.
Sally?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Sapphire?
Yes.
Sally?
Yes.
Amber?
Yes.
Raleigh?
Yes.
Did you say Sally twice?
She said Sally twice.
Yeah,
Did she
it's
vote
the first
twice?
time I
That's
said
the only
Sean, and he just heard Sally.
Oh.
Sorry.
Did you say yes?
We're gonna go all over. Revote.
Start all
Let me
over?
start again.
We're starting over.
Hope?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Sapphire?
Yes.
Sally?
Yes.
Amber?
Yes.
Raleigh?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
Totally did it right.
Last vote of the 25-26 school year.
There we go.
Yay.
Nice work, everybody.
Okay.
We had no discussion items for tonight. We'll go ahead and jump to reflection before we go into closed session so that we can adjourn the meeting.
Do you have any future agenda items you want me to grab, other than the development thing?
No.
Okay.
My brain is.
Okay.
is a good way to end it because it kind of reminds me how we started. And I think it was our first one for the school year where we had poster boards and really starting to think about the school. And this is my 4th year on the board. I was thinking about this 4th, yes. And I feel like this year I finally gotten a really good bearing, but more importantly, I've really been able to see the collaboration amongst all of us, and it's been phenomenal. And I kind of wanted to reflect, thank you for making me be a better board member, and thank you for everyone's voices.
Yeah, solid. Thank you.
Zephyr.
I shouted them out at our last finance committee meeting, but Steve, your work with the budget, your board briefs, your committee briefs are always so helpful, and they bring so much insight, and we're so ready to, vote on important matters because of the stuff you provide. So we appreciate all the stuff you do for the committee and the board.
Yeah, nice work. High quality. Everything you touch is high quality.
Yeah, my reflection is very similar to that. I recognize that there's a ton of work that goes into even the consent agenda items, and we're able to move quickly because people take the time to review all that work that went into it. So, great job, everybody.
Great job, team. Steve, you want to reflect?
Sure, just quickly. I think really the strategic planning process this year and producing something that reflects our school and where we're at. Dr. Eck mentioned today the previous plan had one line associated, we will open a high school, and now this school has graduated 2 classes, and we've got a rock solid program and thriving teachers and students. So really just celebrating the plan and the work that's been done on that.
I love that. Love it. Sean?
Well, I kind of already said it, but seeing the strat plan come to life, as it were, in full color is really neat after a lot of work all year going into it.
Yeah, the long birthing process.
Amber.
I think mine's very similar to everyone else's. It's what I was thinking is how much preparation behind the scenes went into put this enormous agenda together, and then how it enabled all of us to come in knowledgeable and ready to either have a discussion or not, because we had the information we needed. So just, it's very impressive the amount of information that's there for us, and it just helps us be prepared.
Yeah.
Sally?
I was sitting with my 20-year-old tonight looking over all the board materials and discussing some things with them, and it was a fascinating discussion.
It's fun.
All the goodness that was in there.
Yeah.
It worked well for me that you had some of the insight from the governor that we could read, so I could understand part of the state budget, and also with the LCAP, some of the state asks. It was good to see that, and then see where Westlake fits with all of that. So I appreciate that lens.
I love that.
Katie?
I will reflect on my first year on the board. I've learned so much, and I feel really valued being here. I'm happy to be here, and getting the board packet a couple of days ahead of time is like a new routine for me, and it's been helpful to like process through things and ask questions and get clarification and know what is happening.
That's good. If I may, I would reflect upon our reflection. It was really helpful to look through our board reflection and to hear us say things like, we as a board are very open to diverse opinions, and then to reflect on the strategic planning process and thinking about all the nights where we were like grappling out loud with, well, should this or should this not be? And I really respect the engagement of the board in that manner. There are boards across this community, across this country, who don't grapple in kind and respectful ways. This team is respectful of one another's differences, and we arrived at a place, I think, of shared understanding through the process, and I really love that about the work we do. So, yeah, and it happens because you come in informed, because you're willing to read your whole packet, and then come in and use your voice and bring yourself as a stakeholder, but also represent the other stakeholders who talk in the community, which is totally a representative job. Yeah.
Felix actually reminded me of mine at the start of his report tonight. I think easily people would presume that we receive a stipend or some form of payment for our service on the board, but we don't, right? We're all here as volunteers as well. and taking the time for preparing tonight, taking the time to do the reflection, for being here and engaged when you could be doing any of those other things. That worked really well for me. And it worked well for all of us. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to share my appreciation with you. What works well is that we give to each other and we give to the school in alignment with the t-shirt for next year. Like when John came on board, he made it very clear that this is our Westlake Charter School. It's our pathway forward, and none of this would be without all of us coming together to drive our school forward. So thank you.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great reflection.
With that, we will say goodbye to our YouTube followers because we don't anticipate a report out. We do have 2 closed sessions tonight, though, however. One is in regard to existing litigation, and then we have 2 anticipated litigations. So all under the under the safe harbor language of conference with legal counsel. And with that, I would adjourn.
All right. Good night, Paul Jacob.
Happy birthday, Mason.
Happy birthday, Mason, and have a good summer, all my friends from Westlake Charter School.
Make good choices.
Make good choices, says Mrs. Wells. All right. Hey, as we are preparing for closed session, Ashley Keegs, I believe, has set up a root beer float bar over there. And heads up, if you do a root beer float